I think I just witnessed the birth of a new genre of movie right before my eyes. The election year documentary. The good news is, we only have to put up with it every 4 years. 2016 Obama's America is a movie told from a very specific point of view with a very specific purpose. And it's of course about Barack Obama, the upcoming election, and what the world might look like according to the author of this movie if he is re-elected. Now, I'll be right up front with you on this. I hate these kind of movies. Now, documentaries themselves, big fan of documentaries, but this idea of manipulation to make a point really kind of bothers me. And I say the same thing about Michael Moore movies from the other side. There are bits of truth, in fact, things I can take from the movies that Michael Moore has made that I actually like and like learning about, but it seems to all be undermined by this need to manipulate the world to say exactly what you need it to say and be black and white, and it just isn't black and white like that a lot of times. And this movie's the same from the other side. This is a movie from a man who really believes Barack Obama is a dangerous president, and he bases a lot of that on the idea of colonialism, and he talks a lot about how Obama's anti-colonialist past, his dad and some different things, are impacting the decisions he's making as president. Sounds like an interesting concept, and certainly one I'm willing to listen to and possibly even learn something from. The problem becomes when you add these elements around it that just scream manipulation. Now, notice I didn't say bias. I don't mind bias. We're all biased. I'm biased, you're biased, the maker of this movie is biased. That's fine. You can have a particular point of view in the way you see the world. What I mind is when you throw, I don't know, communist flags and different things, and Muslim leaders or Al-Qaeda leaders, or what. Just when you paint with a brush that allows mental connections and images to happen that are not part of the truth, or I should say the words you are speaking. So there becomes this mental manipulation that happens, and that really starts to bother me. Now, the underlying parts of this movie, I was glad I heard some of this stuff. It informs a little bit more about what I know about Obama. Do I take everything this movie says and just put the stamp of, you know, fact on? No, I can't. I haven't heard enough, and there was enough manipulating that it irked me off that I kind of don't want to believe it, because it feels very manipulative. Now, as I watch a movie like this or a Michael Moore movie, there's this other element to talk about, which is kind of the element I want to focus on to finish with, which is how well was it made? That's an important part of this as well. It almost doesn't matter in movies like this, Michael Moore or otherwise, because the people who vehemently agree are going to love it and who disagree are going to hate it. But it is a movie and it was made, so how well was it done? The answer, not very well. In fact, the ending of this movie is the biggest clue to me that this just wasn't made at as high a professional level as it could have been made. It just kind of comes up on the screen that the credits start rolling and you're like, oh wait, is this over? I feel like you stopped mid-sentence. It does not feel like a complete film. The way it's put together, the graphics I guess were okay, but it's stuff that could have been done on any TV channel. There's nothing interesting that needs to be on the big screen. It is on the big screen, I guess, probably for a lot of reasons, a lot of dollars reasons, because as I've said, you know, the box office on this thing is just taking off. And this is a topic that people want to get their minds behind and figure out. And of course it's hot because the election's coming up. So I understand kind of why it's happening, but it's not a movie that would say that that needs to happen. It doesn't feel big enough. It doesn't feel well done enough. As opposed to like a Michael Moore movie, actually Michael Moore movies are fairly well done. He's a gifted filmmaker. I don't feel like this guy or whoever helped him put it together is as gifted a filmmaker, and at the end the movie suffers because of that. So the two levels, is it a well-made movie? No. No, it's really not. And the other level, what's the message behind it? It's very pointed, very specific. It is a movie meant to make you fear what the world will be like in 2016 if Barack Obama is elected. And to me, that's not the reason I want to vote. I want to vote because I believe in somebody and I want them to be in charge, and I want to see what the world will look like with them in charge. I don't vote against people. I vote for them. That's where I land on all this stuff.